don't got nobody just with you right now. But the truth, I look better under you. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can us lose and miss the moment that you just too important? Nobody.
Hey everyone, it's Indy. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about body image and inner confidence and how to overcome some of those insecurities that we might have surrounding our body and what our bodies look like on the outside. All right, so I have my Propel with me, and no, this video is not sponsored, but grab your snacks, grab your beverage, and let's get into it. So this is a topic that I feel like we all struggle with. Body image and confidence, including myself. I definitely struggle with this. I feel like I really used to struggle with it, and I still do. I have some days where I'm good and some days where I'm kind of like down and out about how like my body looks, especially on my days where I'm PMSing and I'm bloated and I might not have eaten that great that week or whatever, and my stomach is kind of bloated or whatever. But this is a topic that is totally universal, and I feel like everybody goes through this and has insecurities about their body, things that they might not like, things that they want to change. And I just want to say, like, in this moment, like, this space is safe and it's a judgment-free zone. I don't want anybody to feel pressured by this topic or anything, because all of us go through this, including myself. This is something that is a very lifelong journey and acceptance of our bodies. And I just want to say, like, no matter where you're at, like, in this moment, your body is perfect and unique to you. And this topic is something that is not going to easily be solved or like a quick fix type of thing, because like I was saying, this is something that is a lifelong journey, something that we have to grow into and accept, because there's some things that we might not be able to change about our bodies unless we go through surgery or do something super major. I just feel like this is such a journey and a process, and we all have to at some point come to some sort of peace. And if you want to make a change and you don't want to live like this anymore because it's filling your mind up and it's giving you anxiety and it's, you know, taking up space in your mind, keep watching, because I'm here to give you a few tips that are going to help you and kind of cope through this transition or process that you might be going through mentally. So yeah, just the first thing that I want to say is stop holding yourself to certain standards. And what I mean by that is, on social media, we see so many people, whether that's like personalities, body types, faces, all of those things, and like our brain is mentally processing all of these people, and I feel like it's an overconsumption of the amount of ideas and people and bodies and all these things. Like, I just feel like it's an overconsumption of things, and sometimes that can become extremely overwhelming, especially if you are already dealing with your own insecurities and seeing how this person looks or this person looks. Kind of, you tend to go in on yourself. And if we stop holding ourselves to a certain standard of beauty, of this is how you're supposed to look like, this is what your body is supposed to look like, this is what you're supposed to be eating, this is what you're supposed to be listening to, like, it's so many different things, and I feel like that can kind of weigh in on us. And if we stop holding ourselves to that specific standard, it would be so much better and we would be at so much more peace. And basically, like, removing anybody from your life too who is making their appearance like the center of their life, if that makes sense. Like, somebody in your life who is constantly worried about how they look, how they dress, how they talk, how they eat, like all these things. If you're surrounded by those people, remove them, because sometimes like it can become, like I said, overwhelming. And those kind of people kind of bring the vibe down a little bit, because they're always worried about how they look, how they're talking, like whatever it is. And sometimes like it's kind of annoying to hear that person constantly talk about like what they look like and all this. So if we can kind of get that vanity like out of our mental, it would be so much better, and we wouldn't have to focus so much on our appearance and really just like living in the moment and whatever like experiences that we're going through, we can just live in those times and like being present in the moment instead of being so self-conscious of what we look like and how we talk and all these things. Feel like those things take up so much space like in our minds, and if we kind of figure out where these insecurities are stemming from, we can kind of have a better understanding and we can get back our power, as opposed to not really analyzing what is causing us to have these certain insecurities, whether that's like somebody like making fun of those insecurities or if that's something like deep rooted inside. We can kind of identify what and where that is coming from, and we can kind of go from there and start processing it a little bit better. Quick intermission. The pineapple peach like flavor of Propel is like really it for me. It's really it for me. My next tip is going to be just simply accepting your body for what it is. You don't have to love it and you do not have to hate it, but you have some sort of peace knowing that your body allows you to move, to speak, to laugh, to cry, to make expressions and all these things, instead of worrying so much about, oh, I wish my stomach was flatter, or oh, I wish like my face wasn't as chubby. You know what I mean? Like simply just coming to peace with the fact that we can do these things and that it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like the whole like what our bodies look like the mindset is so crazy. The fact that these bodies literally are going to like, they don't mean anything. They're going to change. They're going to constantly go through transitions in life. And it's something that we should not be taking up space in our minds with, because again, our bodies are constantly changing. They're constantly going through multiple things. Instead of wishing that you looked like this person or you looked like this person, so many people are constantly comparing themselves to other people, and you're not alone. So I want to say that like you're not alone in comparing yourself to somebody else, but know that it's not healthy and it's really not gonna help you like grow and kind of get your mind out of that mindset, if that makes sense. So simply just maybe not loving your body, but also not hating it, and just simply being grateful for the fact that you can do these things like eat, sleep, move, make expressions, like everything that I've just listed. Like it's simply just being grateful for basically what we have and that we're able to do these things, as opposed to like how I feel about the situation is that our insides is what matters. Our soul, our mental health is what matters. So what you're feeding your mind, what you're watching, what you're listening to, who you talk to, those are the things that are going to matter, because they're going to nurture your inside. So like your mental health, basically. If we're constantly surrounding ourselves with people who are constantly worried about like how they look or their appearance, we are going to end up being like that as well. And it's kind of like being on the receiving end of that, it does get a little bit annoying. So to try and change that and like feed our minds with something a little bit more fruitful is going to help so much. And you're not going to constantly focus on what your body is looking like and all those things. So feeding your mind is the most important thing, because that actually oozes out the confidence and it shows on the outside. And so many people are going to be attracted to that, and they're going to see like, wow, this person is super confident, and like the way they walk, the way they talk, how they are, like how they hold themselves, you know, that is what's going to show, and that is what's going to make you more attractive. No matter how you look like, what insecurities you might feel on the inside, that is what's going to show. So if you have that inner confidence and you feed your mind with fruitful things and things that actually matter, that is what's going to show and just enhance everything. So my next tip is going to be, know that you are going to have good and bad days. So somebody might decide to get under your skin and say something, like point out that specific insecurity that you might have about yourself. They might point it out and they might try and get under your skin and say something about it. Just know that you've been on this lifelong journey of accepting your body and healing from it and trying not to let it bother you so much. You're going to have good and bad days. Somebody is going to piss you off and say something and point out something that you already know. They're gonna do it. It's really inevitable at this point. But you have to know that you've been on this journey for a while, and you've been trying to do the best that you can of accepting whatever that insecurity is, or multiple insecurities that it is. You cannot let these people break you. You cannot let these people get under your skin, because you are the only one that lives with yourself on a daily basis. You know that you have those insecurities. You know that they bother you. But you're trying to not let it affect you. So anybody on the outside, anybody that is saying something to you that is trying to get under your skin or piss you off or point out something that you already know, you cannot let these people break you, because their goal is to try and break you and get under your skin and make you feel some type of way. You cannot let that happen, and you have to own it. You have to own whatever that insecurity is and just live with it, basically. And that is what this whole video is about, is just simply accepting our bodies for the way that they are, and knowing that we do not have to change for anyone, period. We do not have to change for anyone, unless you were trying to change for yourself, but that's a different story. And there's things that we can do to work on. One thing that my mom always told me, especially when I was going through this at my lowest point of this specific topic with body image and comparing myself to other people, she told me that someone else's beauty is never going to take away from your own. Everybody is different and unique to themselves, and I have something to bring to this world, so does the next person. And they might be a beautiful person and I'm a beautiful person, but we're never going to like take away from each other, you know? So that took me a long time to resonate with that and really understand like what she was saying, because I just didn't understand, because I was like, well, this person is so much more beautiful than I am. And like, I'm like, they have these qualities about themselves that I don't have. And I thought like whatever they had, if I had it, it was going to make me more beautiful. And that's not true. Like, yes, somebody on the outside could be beautiful, but they could be totally horrible on the inside. And to me, the inside is what matters the most than the outside. And so I really had to understand and like really like mature in that sense and understand like where she was coming from, because yeah, like we are all different, and some of us have different qualities than others do, and whatever they have and you don't have, there's no comparison, and we don't need to be comparing ourselves to other people, because you are unique to you. And yeah, you're beautiful just the way it goes with simply just, we always want what we don't have. And there's things that we can obviously work on, like, okay, maybe someone has a more toned and fit body and you want that. We can put in the work to like work out and eat better and get our rest and sleep and take care of our bodies in those senses. But like doing, and I mean, if this is what you choose to do, like surgeries and doing things like that, like that's cool, and that's something that, okay, you decided to do. But there's also ways that might not be so harsh, and we can simply just accept ourselves and like work a little bit harder to achieve this specific thing that we want to do, if that makes sense. So like I said, if you see somebody on your Instagram feed who is a little bit more toned and fit and active, we can start putting in the work to go to the gym and do certain workouts and maybe kind of emulate their workout routine, but not so much like emulating their appearance and how they are and how they dress and how they talk, if that makes sense. So not totally copying off of somebody, but like kind of shadowing them and like basically like learning and doing what they're doing. My last tip is going to be simply just rocking what you got. So you're a confident person, other people are going to see that and they're going to be attracted to you, and they're going to just gather around you and want to know what you're about. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know how you got this way. How do I do this? How do I get like you? How do I have the mindset like you? How can I be positive like you? And simply just rocking what we got, even if, like I said, we all have our insecurities, but if we just own it and just live up to it, it's going to be okay. And rather than hiding it and trying to tuck it in and bury it, that also shows as well. Like, people are pretty good like energy readers, and so if we're just owning it and rocking it, other people are going to do the same thing, like with their insecurities. this person is owning that they might have stretch marks or whatever, I have stretch marks too. I'm gonna own mine and I'm going to love it. Simply just rocking what you got and not trying to hide it and making it a big deal. You know what I mean? Because like I said, we all are changing. We all are growing into our bodies. We all are discovering this journey together. And so I just wanted to say this, and hopefully this video was helpful to you and that you can take something from this. All that being said, I hope you liked this week's video. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, you know, all of the things, and I will see you in the next one. I don't know why, like, I always get so nervous, like, when I'm filming. Okay.